centre-back. And the French fans applauding the departure as well of Olivier Giroud, who tonight has become the second oldest player to score in a World Cup match. On the night he became France's oldest World Cup player at 36 years and 53 days old. Second now only behind Roger Miller, who scored twice at the age of 38 for Cameroon back in 1990.
A deserved round of applause, not only from the fans but Didier Deschamps, big smile, and all the coaching staff. Yeah, congratulations, milestone for him.
Marcus Thuram, son of Lillian, as the player who came on. It's a fine save there from Matt Ryan to deny Konate, who was turning away, getting ready to celebrate his first senior international goal, Ibrahim Konate. But an acrobatic stop from Ryan prevented a fifth French goal. Closing in on additional time. I understand there's going to be a minimum of 7 minutes of that.
Really pleased about that, Matt Ryan. I think it looked better first time round. I mean, that's a nice big bounce, isn't it? That's something that the goalkeeper would have expected to push around, and he did.
So we've tiptoed into the 7 extra. And it's all France. Toughest possible start for Australia. Straight down the throat of Ryan from Theo Hernandez. But another very good cross.
A bit disappointed by the loss, of course, wasn't they, Australia, but I don't think the word devastation should be used in conjunction with this performance. I think for a large part of the first half they were very competitive. But quality is really told, doesn't it, towards the end of the first half, and indeed for all of the second, with greater weapons to begin with, the opening lineup for the French, and the substitutions they made, not really to change the game, just to keep everybody fully engaged. The kind of quality of performance that we were hoping to see from the defending champions, and they were not disappointed.
Konate. Well, they're determined to put the gloss on it with a fifth here. This ultimately convincing win for France will put them in a strong position, in the knowledge that if they win their next match against Denmark, they will be through with a game to spare after Denmark's goalless draw with Tunisia earlier today. Creating a myriad of pretty patterns around the pitch here, France. Australia still being worked hard defensively. Well, they've ratcheted up those attempts, haven't they? A lot of those have come in the second half.
They'd like to have been a little bit more efficient, wouldn't they, to with a 5 or 6 on target.
Well, England have scored the most goals in a World Cup match here in Qatar. That's 6 against Iran, and that came from just 13 attempts. Hernandez. Give it straight to Moy. He's trying to look innocent. Aaron Moy. Ultimately a disappointing night for them, but time to recover. Tunisia next for the Socceroos here at the Al Janoub Stadium 4 days from now.
Well, that's the game of the 3 in the group that they would have targeted and said that's our best chance on paper of getting something that is off and running in the tournament. After Tunisia's spirited performance and point against the Danes, that's certainly a tough one for Australia.
Well, Graham Arnold is hoping he's going to get time to deliver some young players into the makeup of the Socceroos going forward. It's always that balance, isn't it, to hope that you'll get time to do that.
Yeah, the results remain the most important thing. I mean, so often at club level and international level as well, coaches talk about building for the future, but you have none if you're not able to get the results when you are in situ. You know, you need to, as you said, find balance between bringing fresh blood into the side and also securing victories. Qualification is always the main thing for Australia. When they get here, then they hope to pull off 1 or 2 shocks. It's not been the case tonight. They've been thoroughly outplayed. And they'll just straighten out. France are the champions, of course.
Looks like Mbappe is going to see the match through. It's been a joy to watch him again. Australia in search of a consolation. Got him behind momentarily there. Safely pouched by Lloris. And the whistle of Victor Gomez. A double for Olivier Giroud in the absence of the Ballon d'Or holder Karim Benzema. On the night he drew level with Thierry Henry as France's joint record goal scorer, goals number 50 and 51. Deschamps looks happy. And after Goodwin's opening goal for Australia, France ran riot in the end. And they win here by 4 goals to 1.
An excellent start.
Richest player of the match on TSN is brought to you by CIBC, and Olivier Giroud scored the game-winning goal for France, and then he went on to add another. They were his 50th and 51st career goals for France, tying Thierry Henry for most all-time for the French national team.
It just had to be him. It was his night, his glory, and with that,
historic header, he ties the great Thierry Henry for most French goals.
Sure does, and he is your ambitious player of the match, brought to you by CIBC.
TSN at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by CIBC, Canada Soccer's lead partner.
We are a nation built on ambition, but our strength is not in our numbers. It's in our unity, a place where everyone belongs. Here, you're not an outsider for being proud of your heritage. You're at home. And as much as we've achieved as a sport and a nation, our ambition only rises.
With a large, immersive screen and the best 5G network, cheer for the top players all the way to the winning goal. Anytime, anywhere. For a limited time, get select Samsung phones on Bell and watch live sports on the TSN app for 6 months on us.
We are live!
Tonight, you're going to meet the man behind a MASH success, Chippendale. I love this place.
Outsider, underdog, immigrant, every obstacle in my way, I still made it. I'm not going to blow it.
Mr. Banerjee, this is the FBI.
What did you do?
I put everything into this.
You can't make an American dream omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Soak up that spotlight. We got that good time. Jump on it, hold tight. All my friends are superstars. All my friends, they doing fine. All my friends and me.
Hey, Sam. Did you ask your doctor about Ozempic?
Ozempic? I take it.
What's Ozempic?
It's used to...
Ask your doctor or visit ozempic.ca.
What's Ozempic?
Want to go to McDonald's?
Well, I'm on my phone. I want to play Santa.
Want to go to McDonald's?
맥도날드에서 가져다 주시겠어요? Fancy Mickey D's?
Canada's first World Cup in 36 years.
Can I go to the necessity?
You went to McDonald's without me?
Wow. I mean, you could have asked. Sorry. Can't eat an apology.
So, what do you think? Yeah, that's cool, but what is this? What do you mean? It's part of the routine. I don't think so. Yes. Look, I'm doing exactly like in the video.
Bubbles, bubbles, so many bubbles. As an Expedia member, you earn points on your travels, and that's on top of your airline miles. So you can go and see, or taste, or do absolutely nothing with all those bubbles, without ever wondering if you're getting the most out of your trip, because you are.
Had enough yet? Are you kidding? I just made a fresh pot.
TSN at the FIFA World Cup is presented by Expedia, made to travel, and by BMO, proudly growing the game of soccer across Canada.
Well, it was celebration for the French after a dominant opening 4-1 win over Australia. Your defending World Cup champions opening up this year's campaign in style, thanks in large part to Olivier Giroud. 2 goals for Giroud, tying Thierry Henry for the most all-time for the French national team. Extremely impressive. As we say, hello, Canada, and welcome inside our studio here in the Souk Waqif. I'm Lindsay Hamilton alongside the panel that played the beautiful game themselves, Stephen Caldwell, Janine Becky, and Kevin Kildan. And Stevie, we talk about this impressive feat from Olivier Giroud. You know, age is just a number. He may be France's oldest player, but 51 goals now. He also did it in 115 caps. Thierry Henry took 123 caps. They have to add that to the conversation. And you can see it written across his face, just how happy he was to reach this milestone.
Yeah, a proud moment for Olivier Giroud, and it should be celebrated because it's quite remarkable that he's equalled that goal-scoring record of Thierry Henry. And you know, this man's a player's player. That's the only thing I can say about him. Players love him. You can tell they love playing with him. He's someone who takes the shots up top. He's a physical player. He'll do the dirty work for other players, but he also gets the goals, as he's proved with this record. And you know, discarded by Arsenal, out of favourite Chelsea, ends up Milan. He's a cheap option for Milan. He wins at Serie A. He's just someone who just defies the odds all the time. He seems to deliver every time he's asked for his country or for whatever club he's playing for. Another outstanding performance by him, and he's someone who can really lead that line, can't he, Kev? You can tell Dembele, Griezmann, Mbappe, they love playing with him.
I just got to add as well, there'll be a lot of Irish supporters that will be delighted that Olivier Giroud has equalled that record, and he's done it in a better time as well.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for Olivier Giroud for obvious reasons. Yeah, I'll tell you about that some other time. There's not too many Irish fans that have got a lot of sympathy for Thierry Henry, let me tell you.
Fair enough. We'll have a little story time later on, but Kim, we also got to talk about Mbappe and Dembele connecting on the wing. They were really the star of this, and obviously the storyline going into this match for France with how injury-riddled they were. But they still show their depth because they have so many backup options.
I know. I mean, Ousmane Dembele is hardly a backup option, really, but he has been on the periphery for a long time, hasn't he? He's not necessarily been able to nail down a spot in this French team, or even for his club side at times, Barcelona. He signed for a huge fee from Borussia Dortmund. What, we're probably going back 5 years now at this stage, and it's never quite happened for him. He's always been the second or the backup, as you say. We all know about Kylian Mbappe. He's, as I said before the game, I think he's the world's best right now. But I think this is going to be an interesting dynamic as they go through the tournament with these two. The quality that they put in tonight from wide areas, Janine, was outstanding. And yes, if France are going to win the World Cup, it will largely be down to Mbappe, but what a player Ousmane Dembele looked tonight, and he's back to the best, I feel, maybe of 4 or 5 years ago when he was playing at Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, if you're Giroud, you are in dreamland with those two giving you service, and that's exactly what they did tonight. I think Dembele played a game where he kind of subtly shined, where you have Mbappe on the other side, who's the star, who gets all the attention, and he was just as good on the right. So two wingers who, you know, are a dream to have for France.
And talk about a dream start for defending World Cup champions. A dominant 4-1 victory over Australia. Next for France is Denmark on Saturday. But looking ahead to tomorrow, all 4 matches on TSN and CTV. The day begins with Morocco and Croatia, then Germany taking on Japan, Spain facing Costa Rica, and then the day wrapping up with the match Canada has been waiting for, facing second-ranked powerhouse Belgium. We've got a 3-hour preview show starting at 11 a.m. Eastern.
TSN at the FIFA World Cup is proudly presented by CIBC, Canada Soccer's lead partner.
We are a nation built on ambition, but our strength is not in our numbers. It's in our unity, a place where everyone belongs. Here, you're not an outsider for being proud of your heritage. You're at home. And as much as we've achieved as a sport and a nation, our ambition only rises.
This does not look good for Canada.
They may need to send someone in to replace Kyle Larin.
Send them in. I'm in it! I'm coming!
Never have I seen anything like this before.
I think it's you. Is that a shawarma? Habibi! Boom! That's Osmos, baby.
We're making what you're craving, Osmos.
So, what do you think? Yeah, that's cool, but what if this? What do you mean? It's part of the routine. I don't think so. Yes. Look, I'm doing exactly like in the video.
With Old Spice Sweat Defense Dry Spray, you get ridiculously long-lasting freshness that feels clean and goes on dry. With our patented technology, amazing Old Spice scent releases throughout your day. Old Spice Sweat Defense Dry Spray. Smell ready for anything.
I love this place.
Hey, did you take care of your RSPs yet?
Yeah, we moved to Quest Trade.
Greg.
Dad, I know you had a long career at the bank, but the fees we were paying, they're eating up our returns.
Greg, we moved to Quest Trade too.
You kidding around?
Not anymore.
It's time to switch to Quest Trade. Open a Quest Wealth Portfolios RSP and become up to 30% wealthier. See how at questtrade.com.
This is my family. Every World Cup, we all get together.
Mate, let's go. Vamos.
Karim eats goals for breakfast. Leo, he's one of a kind. With Sonny, everything's brighter. Nobody's faster than Hakeem. Serge's style is unbeatable. And you can't forget